Hi, this is Steve from DECWARE. Today I'd like to make a short follow-up to the recent amplifier input sensitivity video that is focused on our approach to gain structures and what exactly is a gain structure. A gain structure, as it relates to audio files, is referring to the voltage relationship between components, although it is worth mentioning that each component itself has an internal gain structure between stages, and pretty much the same things I will be talking about apply to both. So let's look at a simple example using three components: a CD player, a preamp, and a power amplifier. The CD player has a fixed output level of around 2 volts, which last time I checked was industry standard. A power amplifier typically has several hundred watts available and will come to full output when the input signal reaches on average 1 volt. Of course, some amplifiers want less than that and some want more, but 1 volt seems to be the norm. So you have a high power amplifier that only needs 1 volt to come to full power, of which you're never going to play it that loud, so considerably less than 1 volt is needed to achieve your playback level. Yet you have a source component with 2 volts of output, twice as much as you could possibly use, and the two components together are completely useless because they only work at full blast. This is why you need a preamp, obviously, but I want you to understand that the preamp is about controlled attenuation. It has no gain, and if it does have gain, you wouldn't be able to use any of it in this example without further compounding the problem. What problem? An upside-down gain structure that makes your volume control aggressive and the sound of your amplifier lean at low volumes and generally non-compelling. Suppose we compare the signal level to a basket of fruit. The source component has a signal level of 2 volts, so let's look at that as a full basket of fruit. If we want to play our amplifier at its absolute maximum level of power, we only need or can use a half basket of fruit. This means we took half of the source signal, the music, and threw it away before we even got started. Think about that for a minute. Doesn't make a lot of sense, does it? And the reality is that you're never going to listen at full power, so the amplifier will have to have a lot more fruit deleted, down to perhaps just a couple pieces. Basically, a fraction of the original amount will be used to construct your playback level. Now, if you take a full basket of fruit, delete most of it, and then stretch, amplify, or inflate what's left, don't expect it to taste like the original basket of fruit or have anywhere near the same weight. Usually when you try to make something small really large, it becomes translucent, less opaque, and less dense. Some of the original fruit may even be hard to recognize or missing entirely. The first rule in a DECWARE gain structure is that you never delete any of the source, which in this example is the full basket of fruit. You keep it full at 2 volts and design the amplifiers to come to full power with that amount. That right there can make a world of difference if you're looking for musicality. The second rule is that you add an input gain control on the amplifier, making it possible to reduce its input sensitivity down to infinity. This does two things. Makes a preamp optional because you can use the gain control as a volume control, and 2, if you have a preamp, makes it possible to have one with gain and actually use it. Adding a preamp with gain in this scenario makes it possible to take that full basket of fruit and rather than reduce it, actually increase it by 2 or 3 times. At the same time, you would reduce the input sensitivity of the amplifier by the same amount. This means you now have several baskets of fruit at the front door of the amplifier with the knowledge that none of it fell out of the baskets on the way there. It's like the Garden of Eden for your amplifier versus having 3 pieces of fruit to work with. This is an ideal gain structure where the amount of fruit, voltage pressure, was kept high throughout the signal chain, rejecting noise and skin effects from cables until the very last possible point, giving the amplifier the maximum opportunity to sound good. So in other words, you want the highest signal level possible, and you never want to turn it down. until the last possible opportunity. Have a great day and happy listening.